Welcome to Wallace on Wire. Today we are talking about a recent, highly publicized controversy. The one centered on that big industry gathering, the Global Travel Meet Dinner.
Right, and specifically about the really quite swift clarification that came from the tourism sector itself, defending Minister Tiong King Sing.
It really set tongues wagging, didn't it? The whole debate kicked off around this high-profile dinner and, well, suggestions about its funding or maybe its appropriateness.
Yeah, it was quite something. And the big news that came out of it all was three major industry bodies stepping up. We're talking about the Malaysian Indian Tourism Association, the Malaysia-China Cultural Tourism Promotion Council, and the Malaysia My Second Home National Consultants Association.
A mouthful, but important names.
Exactly. They actually felt they needed to issue a joint public apology to the Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture, Tiong King Sing, specifically over the controversy that erupted.
An apology to the minister, that's unusual.
Highly unusual. So today we really need to unpack what exactly that controversy was about, what the industry statement actually revealed and what it all means for the minister and, well, the tourism sector going forward.
Okay, so let's start with the controversy itself. It really seemed to bubble up from how the event looked, right?
Yeah.
This big dinner, first of the month, Sunway Resort Ballroom.
The optics. And the question immediately became, who paid? Was it taxpayer money funding this seemingly lavish event? That was the core of the public suspicion.
That's where the joint statement came in then. Tackle that head on.
Precisely. And they didn't pull any punches. These three associations, let's maybe call them the Tourism Coalition, just for ease. No, they made it crystal clear.
What did they say?
They stated very explicitly that the industry organized it, hosted it, and crucially, paid for the whole thing themselves.
The whole dinner.
Yes. They stressed that absolutely no public funds, zero government money was involved or used for that dinner part of the event.
So if the industry paid, what was the government's role? Why were the Ministry and Tourism Malaysia even there?
Good question. It seems the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, and Tourism Malaysia, they basically used this platform, the stage funded entirely by the industry, remember, for a pretty major national announcement.
What it was?
The official launch of the big 2026 Visit Malaysia Year campaign. So the industry provided the venue, the audience, the setup.
And the government brought the national agenda, the official launch moment.
Exactly. It was presented as a public-private partnership, but with the private sector footing the bill for the gathering itself.
Okay, so why the apology? If they just clarified the funding, why apologize to the minister?
Well, their statement suggested they felt the need to shut down the noise. They said the joint statement was aimed squarely at stopping all the, quote, irresponsible and misleading public remarks that were flying around about the event and, by extension, about the minister.
So they saw the controversy itself as damaging.
It seems so. Damaging and distracting. Like it was undermining the actual purpose and, frankly, the success of the event. They needed to clear the air very decisively.
Right, which brings us nicely to the event itself, the Global Travel Meet.
Yeah.
Because the industry wasn't just defending the cost, they were really shouting about the results, weren't they?
Oh, absolutely. And you can see why they were so protective of it. They highlighted this was actually Malaysia's first tourism event on this kind of scale.
How big are we talking?
Well, according to their statement, it pulled in over 600 international buyers. These are the key people, the decision makers who package and sell Malaysia to tourists worldwide.
600 buyers. That's significant.
And more than 100 international media organizations, too. Think about the global exposure that generates. But the figure that really jumped out...
The economic impact.
Yes. The coalition stated very proudly that this single gathering generated a significant economic benefit. They valued it at over 402 million ringgit.
Wow. Okay. Over 400 million ringgit. That's a huge number. It certainly puts the dinner cost in perspective.
It does, and it really serves as their main justification, doesn't it? It highlights the kind of positive outcome they believe the minister and the ministry were aiming for with this kind of large-scale event. Shows the potential return on investment, even if the initial investment was private.
Yeah, just to be clear, that 402 million ringgit, is that, like, confirmed cash, or is it more of a projection? We should probably add that context.
That's a fair point. Usually with these big travel trade events, numbers like that represent the estimated value of deals done or serious leads generated. It's projected future business hotel bookings, tours, flights expected over the next, say, 12 to 24 months.
But not immediate cash, but a strong indicator of future revenue.
Exactly. It signifies a massive amount of confidence and commitment from those international buyers who attended. They wouldn't project numbers like that lightly.
So it puts the whole thing in a different light. You have the industry paying for the event, investing heavily, and then projecting hundreds of millions in return. It really makes you question, doesn't it? Should the focus have been on the dinner funding or on this huge potential economic win?
It definitely raises questions about where public attention gets directed, especially when you see how strongly the industry backed the ministry's wider performance, too.
Yeah, the joint statement wasn't just about the dinner, was it? They went further.
Much further. They used it as a platform to pretty much give a glowing report card to the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, and Tourism Malaysia. Praised their overall performance in attracting visitors. It was basically the private sector saying, look, these guys are delivering.
Did they back that up with numbers?
They did. And the numbers are quite striking. They pointed to Malaysia getting over 38 million tourist arrivals back in 2024, a huge figure showing that post-pandemic recovery was well underway.
38 million in 2024. And what about now? Is the momentum holding?
Apparently accelerating. The statement highlighted that Malaysia has already passed 20 million visitors just in the first half of 2025.
Wow. Halfway through the year and already over 20 million.
Yeah, the pace is impressive. And the fact that the Tourism Coalition themselves are putting these numbers out there, linking them to the ministry's work, shows how much they credit Tiong and his team for, making that growth happen.
It really suggests a very strong alignment, doesn't it? When the industry sees the government's strategy working so well for their bottom line, they're going to support it publicly.
Absolutely. And remember, the launch of the Visit Malaysia Year 2026 happened right there, at that very dinner. The timing ties it all together.
So defending the minister now is also about positioning themselves for that big 2026 push.
It certainly looks that way. By clearing the air now, praising the current leadership, and launching the campaign on their platform, they're sending a clear signal. They back this direction, and they expect to be key partners and beneficiaries moving forward.
What does this signal more broadly, then, for tourism policy?
I think it signals stability, or at least the industry's desire for it. They finished their statement with a pledge, didn't they? Committing to continuous, active cooperation with the ministry.
To keep Malaysia as the top choice for travelers.
Right. They're basically doubling down, saying, let's keep this strategy going. Let's work together. Let's focus on success, not squabbles. It's a message of unity.
So looking back at the whole thing, it started as a potential scandal about funding.
A classic who paid for dinner controversy.
But it got flipped completely, not by the government stepping in, but by the industry itself. They cleared it up, apologized for the distraction, and then used the moment to shout about success.
Pretty much. They turned a defensive situation into, well, a massive public endorsement of Tiong King Sing and his ministry strategy. They brought out the big guns, the RM402 million projection, the record tourist numbers as proof that things are working.
It's quite a move. In today's world of instant news, and let's face it, pretty constant political point scoring here in Malaysia, how often do you actually see industry leaders come out so forcefully, almost betting their own reputations and future business on backing a specific minister like this?
It's rare, very rare.
So what does that tell you? What does this kind of, frankly, expensive public defense suggest about the trust they have or maybe the value they see in the current tourism direction under this administration?
Well, it suggests that when the economic results are this tangible hundreds of millions in projected benefits, soaring arrival numbers, the private sector is willing to take really quite extraordinary steps to protect the leadership they see as delivering those results. It's a powerful display of alignment, all focused on that economic goal.
Something for everyone watching to think about.
Definitely.
Remember to like and subscribe for more videos like this.